Hey, Michael, how are you doing today?
Hey Kirby, I'm doing well.
Okay, everyone, this is Michael Lau. He's a full-time realtor and he's a team leader based in Markham here. He's on Team Forward. He's, I think you're one of the first agents, okay? I think you are the first agent that joined me when I first started this journey. So the first agent on the team. I was doing an open house and Michael walks into the open house. This is 2023. Okay. Michael walks into the open house and he says, I'm just previewing homes for my clients. Remember that, Michael?
Yep.
Yeah. He said, this is a great house. I don't know why they don't want to look at it, but I want to look at it myself. So Michael comes in, walks through the open house, and then he's like, I heard about EXP. Right? Can you tell me more about it? Now, I just joined EXP for a couple of weeks at this point, so I didn't know what to say to him. I said, yeah, let's go for lunch. Right, Michael?
Yep.
And you know what I did? I didn't call him after the weekend. And then messages me and says, hey, when can we go for lunch? And so he's actually pulling, right? Pulling. And that's what you're going to start to meet is that in the world, there's people that you have to push, and then there's people that will pull you. And that's one indication there that Michael's a leader and he pulls. You see, he doesn't wait for Kirby to call him. He pulls, right? He's like, get Kirby on the phone, right? He's the founder of Kaizen Real Estate Team right now with Niraj. I think Niraj is here on the team in the call too. And these guys are passionate about systems, mentorship, and helping agents grow through strategy and authenticity. Did I miss anything, Mike? Oh, say it again, Michael. Are you muted? Something happened to us. Can you guys hear me and Michael? Let me see. Can someone?
He's my this.
There, it works now. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, you got everything right. We're very into systems and mentoring other agents and growing our next team, the Kaizen team.
So after hearing what Dan Beer just talked about, right? What are your thoughts? Because you're in the team, right? You're in the team of the team, right? You're in Team Forward. You're also in Fast Forward Movement. Yeah, what are your thoughts after hearing him?
Well, yeah, he built a really good system. 13,000 agents, and most of them are top performers. So what I really gain from this is that leveraging all the knowledge that we have as a team, and implementing systems that's already proven to work. There's already what Fast Forward Movement has 8 out of the 10 teams out there are the top 10 in
Yeah,
EXP. And
yeah,
that is huge. And these teams are actually sharing their playbooks and teaching us how to implement it ourselves. So from Niraj and I implementing Kaizen, it's we look at the systems, let's say Team Fast, from people like Colton, people who are already winning the strategy. So we just implement this in ourselves locally here in Toronto, Markham.
yeah.
We're gonna
And I
grow
always
it's like this.
Yeah, and I teach you guys don't be reinventing the wheel all the time, right? There's people that have done it before. If they're willing to share their models and systems, right? And I always say, go take it. Go take it. Now, I invited Michael here today because he's the most effective agent, okay, on Team Forward last year. Our number one agent. He did 39 deals last year, right? He got icon status, which means he got his $16,000 in stocks last year, EXP stocks. So congratulations, Michael.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And I wanted Michael to talk about this today, which is how people become unstoppable. Okay, so with Michael, when I first started working with Michael, I was like, this guy is very timid. Okay, he's quiet. You guys can hear it today. He's not a Dan Beer, right? He's not Dan Beer. And yet he still does a lot of sales, right? And he tells me, he first meets me, he says, I'm an introvert. Okay. Are you introvert, Michael?
Yes, I'm a very high introvert person.
Very high introvert.
What does
Okay.
that mean?
I don't know what that means. Anyways, he doesn't like, okay, to be on camera. Okay. Don't force him. But look here. It's not the most talented who win though. Okay. So if anybody here thinks they're not talented enough, if you're comparing yourself to another agent out there that's like super amazing, well, it's not about that, right? It's not about the most talented who win. It's the ones who keep going when everyone else slows down. You've seen the talented realtors out there fail. They lose sale or they go out of business. It's not about the talented. It's not about how great their outgoing personality is, right? It's really about grit in real estate. And Michael is a guy who has grit. Okay. When we first talked about, when we first had our content day and he learned about YouTube videos, doing shorts and all that, he made it work. So if you go to Mike's Instagram now, Mike, you want to put your Instagram in the chat? Okay. And follow him, guys, because that's an introvert doing all those videos. He's doing at least what, 3 a week, 4 a week?
I'm doing minimum of 3 a week.
You're committed to 3 a week right now, right? And so I want to talk about like you, right? And unstoppable. So these are the 7 things I listed here is what unstoppable agents do. Okay. So they don't wait to feel ready. They move anyway. Okay. So Michael doesn't need to feel ready. He could do a pretty much a reel anytime now, right?
Anytime, I'll still think about it. But
You're fast.
definitely more confident doing reels. I'm not as camera shy as I used to be because
Yeah.
I learned and I'm yeah, just experimenting with the progress. I see the growth.
So here's the number 2 then. You're not scared anymore because you act from identity now, not from emotion. And that's what I see is that you don't have to act based on your emotion. They turn resistance into a compass. They don't rely on motivation. They engineer momentum. Okay. They zoom out in crisis. They normalize failures through rehearsal. Okay. And that's something I see you doing with the rehearsals, practicing your scripts. And then they treat feedback like fuel. Okay. So getting feedback constantly. All right. So I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to just go and ask you questions. Okay. So Michael, was there a time where you felt like you were stopped?
Well, yeah, for sure. I think if you're a realtor, there's always a time when you felt like nothing is working and you want to just give up. Uh, I mean, for my everyone probably endured like long hours, there's no results, like constant rejections from either cold calling, warm calling, door knocking. Um, there's always a time where I want to quit. But
But let's go on the court though. Let's step in the court, real world. Was there one time where you were stopped, but then you found a way to keep going?
well, right, I would say like now, I mean, going door knocking, that as a introverted person, this is very difficult. Like, no, that you can't joke about this. Like, the fear of rejection is very high, and knowing what to say to these people, it's very high. Um, but when you're leveraging, going to your theme, leveraging, you have to work with teammates,
Mhm.
mentors, and they keep pushing you to go, even though when things are tough, when you feel like you're down. I have a teammate like Niraj right now. He's like an unstoppable person. He will always tell you to go door knock, even though when you don't feel like it. And yeah, I mean, this week we've door knocked over 200 homes, and this
Yeah.
is unimaginable for someone like me.
You know what? Well, you know what that really what I hear is that it's a choice. Like you're making a choice and it's not your personality trait, right? So that story, which is I'm an introvert, I'm shy, is like you put that aside and it's like you're making a choice. I'm doing it. So awesome work. And there's a reason why Niraj is not here because he's gung ho, man. That guy is unstoppable. Okay, so we want to hear from the other side. We want to hear from you. Okay. And so, Michael,
Yeah.
what mindset then has been most important for you to stay consistent then?
Well, mindset. Um, so one thing that really stood out to me last year, it's that be do have mindset. So I've stopped chasing the results and started focusing on who I need to become. And that's what we have on the Monday calls. Um, if I want to be a top producing realtor, I need to act like that person. Um, I need to act like that person already. That means showing up daily, having that discipline, and leading by example. And then the results will come from my behavior.
That's amazing because most realtors will think I need to be a top producer first, then I can act like a top producer,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, I've been a realtor for the past 10 years, and it was only the ninth year that I realized I need to make that switch and have that being first.
Yeah, yeah. And then the shift, right? That's where you got that boom, amazing year last year.
Yep.
And then, so speaking of that, then 9 years, right? So what do you do differently now when you hit this resistance or fear? Because I'm still hearing it that you didn't get rid of the fear, right? You still have it, right? So what do
Yeah.
you do differently with it now?
All the routines and systems that come in. Uh, I mean, it's not exciting every day, but the results will actually come from being consistent, doing the task that's not glamorous. So, like I guess what Niraj is saying here, yeah,
Doing the boring
for
stuff, right?
consistency, this week we have already like one listing appointment, two more listings appointment, uh, coming from just door knocking. And
Yeah.
I attend weekly meetings. I'm committed to the Monday and Friday calls and the Friday fast track Fridays. This accountability, it just keeps me going and keeps me motivated. And I really have this competitive spirit in me that failure is not an option.
Does. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's cool is that when you start teaching things like Mike's, taking on Fast Track Friday on every Friday, right? It's a real estate mastermind for local agents. And when you take something like that on, it's not like you can just show up unprepared, right? Right. So when Mike goes and prepares for it, right, Mike, you have to, you know, at least be knowledgeable of that subject that you're that you're going to mastermind on, right? Like
Definitely.
is
Yeah.
that pushing you too? Is that supporting you in your growth?
Yeah, it's definitely it's pushing me to learn some of these strategies that the audience wants to hear about. So it forces me to learn or being more perfection of that topic, and also teaching me skills like reaching out and collaborating with other people. Like we brought on YouTube star that maybe 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and all I had to do was just reaching out, and he just showed up, and it was a great class.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you got a great speaker there. You weren't afraid of rejection there?
No, just do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so then talking about what you mentioned before was, there's some mundane tasks, right? Like less glamorous side, you said, right?
Yeah.
And like, what do you do what are you going to do now to continue that? Because I know you went door knocking, this is very new for you. How are you going to stay consistent with that?
So, I know door knocking is one of the most highest return on investment out there. And there's always all these other systems that cannot be left behind. So that's where I'm leveraging a virtual assistant to help with these other tasks. So I will be teaching the VA how we operate things, or SOPs, so that our system will continue running as we're doing listing appointments, door knocking, doing the
Hmm.
task that generates us the most money.
So now we talk about leverage then. I think I think we talk about leverage now,
Mhm.
which is like you're focusing on this one activity that only you can do right now, which is the highest dollar producing activity, right? Because if you go door to door, that's going to give you if you guys want to talk about dollar producing activity, right? Like door to door is high, appointments are high, okay? Because the appointment will result in deals, right? So that's a high dollar an hour per activity, right? So it's something like you'll pay $1,000 per an hour if an agent secures you a listing, right? If an agent goes and door knocks for you, you're going to pay that agent a little bit more than doing paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Michael's doing right now is he's keeping the higher dollar per dollar value task for himself, and then leveraging the VA services, which is the lower dollar per an hour activities, right? So
Yeah, keep that
you
in
have
perspective.
paperwork. What else? What else do you leverage on? Paperwork.
Paperwork, social media, marketing, using. I do the filming, and the
Yeah,
VA does the editing.
yeah.
Um,
They do the editing.
what else? Doing CMAs for me.
Yeah, CMAs. So
CMA,
what's really left for you to do now? You go door to door to meet new clients. What else?
door to door, listening presentations, making phone calls. Uh, what else? What else could I do? I mean, yeah, I mean, I can also leverage out putting lock boxes out. I don't need to do
What?
that anymore. I can hire maybe a
Yeah,
production agent who can do that for me.
yeah, yeah. You could hire a sign guy to put your sign up,
Yeah,
right?
doing that
Um,
already.
you hire a videographer for your videos,
Yeah,
right? Um, you hire a graphic designer for your graphics. Well, that's your VA now, right?
might be.
Yeah, VA now because they have AI now. Okay, so everybody's a graphic designer now suddenly. Um, so yeah, so that's why, guys, this is possible for you. Is that if you are a solo agent or you're starting a team, is that you start looking at what kind of like tasks that you're running a day. Like you really shouldn't be on Facebook too much, you know? You shouldn't be, you shouldn't be,
Us being.
yeah, yeah, as an agent.
That's where it goes.
You know, I know you can post in there. Your virtual assistant can help you post in there. But for me, I don't want to be on there because I'm going to start scrolling those shorts and then an hour pass by me, you know? So it's like have your people in place and just follow the steps we talked about before is, you know, bring on people that are really passionate about that one thing. Okay. So you got to watch out who you're leading and watch out who leads you. Okay. So who do you lead? If you lead somebody with no passion, they are actually become the time sucker in your life. So you're going to monitor them. You're going to check if they're working. You're going to teach them. Thank you, Phil. You're going to have to teach them things that they've forgotten. You're going to have to check up to see if they included a schedule A or schedule B, right? It becomes more work for you. That's not what you want. That's not leverage, right? That just looks good. I'm an assistant, right? So that's why you got to be very careful who you're leading. And then you got to be careful who leads you. Okay. Because who leads you, imagine if they're not effective, they can't pour into you. Like Dan said, you're a sponge right now, right? You know, learn everything you can, and then you can give, right? And everyone that's learning from this class, from any class, you're a unique individual now. AI can never replace you because you're unique. AI can try to replicate you, okay? But they'll never replace you, okay? And they say, oh, AI is going to replace you. Guess what? I'll tell you a secret right now, guys. AI is going to make a weaker generation coming forward. Why? Because using AI will stop you from learning. It'll stop you from the process. Okay. I'm very proud that I was born in the 70s. Okay. Very proud because I went to the library. I did hard work, right? I did references, check all the books. Now it's just like a click a button, everything comes out. It's too easy. So if you think of the story of the butterfly, where the butterfly, if you help the butterfly out of the cocoon, it can't fly. It didn't stretch and work its muscle. And that's what we're in right now, is that if we don't use AI to flex our muscle, then we will be with no muscle. We will lose in this business, okay? So this is I'll show you these guys. So these are, other than Dan, you saw Dan already. These are my coaches, right? There's John Maxwell here. There's Diana Kokoska here, okay? These are my coaches, right? And so if you're getting a book, remember to read the Becoming More from Diana Kokoska. So this is perfect for Michael, right? You do have this book is about becoming more, being more, okay? And then if you guys want to, level up your leadership, High Road Leadership by John Maxwell, amazing book. Okay. So I meet with these two every month. Okay. Once a month, I meet with these two and they pour into me. Okay. And I chose them because we were the right frequency, right? These guys align with the same kind of mission that I'm working on right now. I mean, John's working on transforming the Philippines right now. We just have the same kind of mission and I work really well with them. So I really watch who I pour into me. If you choose someone that pour into you that's a different kind of philosophy or maybe something that doesn't resonate with you, then it's not going to work very well. Okay. Like if you find a coach that's just rah, rah, go, 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 right? Push, push, push. And that's not for me. Maybe it's good for you, some of you guys that want to be maybe whipped into doing something, but not me, right? I like to be inspired. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Michael, for sharing with us your unstoppable journey. And I want you to keep going. You're doing amazing. Keep going. This year, you're surpassing last year and continue being unstoppable.
Thank you. Yeah, you can count on it. We're gonna beat last year's numbers.
And before you go, Mike, I want to say the one awesome thing about you is that you don't keep it to yourself, right? Is that you share your knowledge, you share your time with others, right? And even if they're not, let's say, on your team, so you're very selfless. So thank you for that.
No problem. My pleasure. If you guys
All
want
right.
to reach out, yeah, just DM me on Instagram. I'll be happy to help each and every one of you.
Thank you, Michael.